Evolution of the earth. What is evolution? It is the origin of the earth. So regarding origin of the earth, scientists have different opinions. Many of these scientists are debating that our earth, how it is formed. They wanted to know. Still they are discussing and debating how our earth was formed. Many of the scientists believe that our earth formed some 4.5, that means 4.5 billion years ago. How many years ago? Some 4.5 billion years ago, earth formed. This is the opinion of the scientists, and they stated that this earth passed through the several stages. Today the earth is very suitable to us. Of course, the suitable earth we have spoiled with our exploitation. When earth formed some 4.74, some 4.5 billion years ago, our earth was not like this today, how it is there to us. Okay, to come to this present stage, our earth has passed through the several stages. Understand? First, it was a ball. What that? It was like a ball. Understand? It was like a ball of swirling dust and clouds. How was the earth in its first stage? It was a ball of swirling dust. Understand? Swirling dust and clouds. In its initial stage, our earth was a ball of swirling dust. Let me show you that what is meant by swirling dust here. Look at here. I am drawing here. This is the what is swirling dust. Understand? What you call swirling dust. That was the first stage of our earth. Understand? Then after it passed to the second stage, and that stage is called molten stage. Which stage? Molten stage. What is meant by molten stage? A stage where we find melted substances. Okay, it is hot also. You know that molten form, in the sense we find some substances in that place in the form of semi-liquid with a high temperature. So our earth entered into the molten stage. Okay, at that time our earth was very hot. Understand? It was very hot in the second stage. Okay, that is the molten stage where it was very hot. And in this stage, it was bombarded by the massive rocks. Understand? What in by bombarded? Some celestial bodies, that means, sorry, what you call, some substances in the space, they have heated the earth. Look at here. What do you see here? A big rock. Understand? A massive rock that is heating the water, our earth. Understand? So like this, several massive rocks and other materials coming from the space, they hit what you call the earth, which is in the molten stage. So when the other substances and rocks that heated the earth, the size of the earth grown. Okay, the other substances joined the earth by heating it, so that the size of the earth grew. Understand? Earth was so hot at that time. Understand? Everything was in molten form. That means hot liquid form. Understand? Hot liquid form. It was the earth at that time. Look at here. What do you see here? A rock in the first figure. You see that a rock here coming near to the earth, right? And here you see that in the second, it is hitting the water earth. And third, you see here, there it is heated, so that some changes have come in the size of the earth. So there was what you call hot substances in the earth. That is a second stage, molten stage. Which stage? Molten stage. Instead, look at here. In this slide, you will come to know. What do you see here in the figure? See, some small parts I have given here. Look at here. I am tricking it. 1, 2. That is a hard substance. Understand? Massive rock. And as it come near to the earth, see, this is the earth. Understand? And that earth heated by this rock. It is a massive rock. Understand? Massive rock. That means massive. What do you mean by massive? Very, very large, very big. Okay. And what do you see here? It is very hot. The color of the earth, you see how it is red in color. It means hot. Understand? That means in the second stage, molten stage, it is what? Molten stage. Okay. So in the molten stage, some massive rocks and other substances from the space, they hit the water earth surface, so that the size of the earth grown. Okay, this what to call happened in the second stage. Understand? So when it was hot, you know, the lighter particles, they raised to the surface of the earth, and heavier particles, which are heavy in weight, okay, that heavier particles, they what to call went to the inside the earth. That means at the center of the earth. Instead, you know, after boiling the milk, what do you see? A thin layer is formed on the what you call milk. That is what you call a thin layer, right? And here also, when several substances hit the earth, lighter particles have come up and that become cool and form the water crust part of the earth, and heavier particles, they went interior of the earth. That means what we discussed, the core. There three layers are there in the what you call earth's interior, right? We have discussed here. See, so what happened here? There the lighter particles, they reach to the earth's surface and formed crust. Heavier particles went to the center of the earth. That is the core. What is that? Core. Understand? And they what to call contracted and formed to the hard, heavy components at the core. Understand? So as the Earth's interior started becoming cool, it contracted. That means when it is becoming cool, third stage, understand? In the third stage, our Earth started becoming cool. So when it is becoming cool, there the substances which are on the earth, they become cool, contracted, and the outer crust wrinkled. Now let me show you that how it is. Understand? Look at here. This is the layer of the earth, the line what I have drawn. Understand? So what are the substances available inside the crust? They contracted. That means they have come very close. So when the substances have come very close, what happened here? The top layer of the crust, it what to call wrinkled. Understand? It got breaks. Understand? And they formed ridges. Let me show you that ridge here. Understand how it is? See, in this way. Okay, the substances which are present here, they contracted here. As they contracted, we see the surface is wrinkled and formed ridges. Understand what they formed? Ridges. Understand? Here it is a shallow part, and in another way, what we see, there is a rise, that what we call mountains. What that? Mountains have formed, and the shallow part filled with water for many million years, and that turned to oceans. Which one? Oceans. Understand? So in this way, in the third stage, we see that earth turned to water cool. It is not the entire earth, only the top layer. Understand? Inside the earth, that is at the core, and at the mantle, we find there is a lot of temperature. It is very hot there. Understand? So later, the atmosphere of the earth, what we have today, in which we find several gases, those were not present in those days. Understand? Right? What do we see here? There the atmosphere on the earth, which consists of several gases, were not present there. That is oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide. These were not present in those days. It took some millions of years to get all these gases on the earth. Instead, for a long time, we see that for a long time, the air, what we breathe here, it developed there. Okay, some million years ago, what happened? There, air, that means atmosphere, started on the earth instead. That means in the fourth stage, what happened here? It took some years for getting the atmosphere which is suitable to us, in which oxygen is there and nitrogen is there, carbon dioxide is there, and so on. Several gases which are present in atmosphere formed on the earth, taking a long time. Okay, then after the rainfall started, and that filled the large basins which are present on the earth's surface instant, and that in that way it turned to oceans. Okay, let me show you that these are the large basins, dear student. These are the what? Large basins which are filled with water for many years, and that turn to oceans instant. One end of a billion years, for a one end of the long span, Earth's history, that it was barren. Okay, Earth was barren. Nobody was there on the Earth. Understand? Life was not there on the Earth for a long period. Then after, slowly, life started first in oceans. Where it started? Life started in oceans. Understand? Okay. Then when life started first in the ocean, from that diversified plants, animals, and human beings started originating, or what to call arrived on this earth. In this way, what to call our earth as originated, right? So it is the origin of the earth, saying that 4.5 billion years ago, earth started forming or not. This is the what? Evolution of the